Hello, friends. How are you? How's things? How's life? How's your world? How's stuff? I hope all is well. I brought the Switch 2 down with me today because I want to talk about it. I've had it for a month or two now, and I have thoughts. And mainly, my thoughts are, I don't want to say disappointment, because that's not true. But I've talked about this before. I'm like a diehard Nintendo guy. I've never owned another console-ish. I've always just played Nintendo products because their first-party games are the games I'm most interested in. And then I have no problem waiting and picking up a game 5 or 10 years after it's come out on every other console and playing it. In fact, I sometimes prefer that because, like, for instance, right now I am playing Cyberpunk 2077, and I get to play a non-buggy working version of the game that has the DLC and everything included, and I don't have to be frustrated. Whereas I watched my wife play this game on launch on her PlayStation, and it was perpetual frustrations for her. I have no frustrations. It's been fine. So I get to play the full complete thing. I just have to wait. And since I don't really socialize around gaming anyway, like video games, I don't care that I had to wait 5 years. Like, it doesn't matter to me. I'm not missing out on anything because I'm not plugged in culturally to video games. So that being said, I've always been a Nintendo fanboy and I've always bought all of the Nintendo products. But this is the first time, well, since the N64. I didn't have the previous two. But this is the first time as a Nintendo fanboy that I've bought a new console that's just kind of like, okay, like, there's nothing here for me, essentially. And what I mean by that is, if you're a PlayStation person, you buy the new console because it has upgraded abilities and you're going to play the new games and they're going to be amazing. On Nintendo, you buy the new console because it's going to have some new fascinating ability and it's going to change the way that you play games. This doesn't do that for me. This is just like everybody else. I'm getting a slightly upgraded Switch. And I don't mean to diminish the amount of upgrade. This does have significantly more power, significantly more video, all that kind of stuff. But I also don't care about any of those things. Yeah, it's bigger. This might be the first time I've held it in my hands like this. I don't play handheld very often, if at all. And so I haven't really experienced it this way. I have not played any of these games that I'm going to talk about here, handheld mode. So I don't know that I care about that part of it. The screen is... I've heard the screen's really good despite not being OLED. The OLED screen on the old Switch was a dramatic improvement over the previous generation screen. I've heard that on this it's not so dramatic, but I don't really know. I haven't, again, played handheld. So this has been in my dock. I would say for me, the biggest difference that I've noted is that the new Pro Controller is slightly smaller than the old Pro Controller. And I mean very slightly, but with giant hands, it's noticeable. Other than that, it's got two new buttons I've never found a reason to use. Because you can't map them to anything special. Like, it's not a button that you can map to an in-game, like, click on the screen here or whatever. It just remaps another button, and not another button combo, just another button. So it's really just like a replacement button or a secondary. I have no idea what the point of it is. I've not found a reason to use those buttons yet. So I guess if you play handheld or detached a lot, the optical mouse that comes in this is pretty neat. I don't know. I'll probably never do that. So why did I buy the Switch? Or what is this? What is the purpose here? You know, for me, I wanted to play the new Donkey Kong Bonanza, and I did. I played all of it, and that was fantastic. And I couldn't get it on the Switch 1, so here we are. That's about it. Like, there's not... My wife and her brother give me a lot of grief about my love for the Switch and the games that I play on here. For instance, I've played Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. I've played Hogwarts Legacy. I played Kingdom... what is it called? Kingdom Come Deliverance. I've played a lot of big games on here that crash a lot, or on my original Switch that crash a lot, play like crap, get 30 FPS, and they've given me a lot of grief over that. I also don't care. Like, none of those things matter to me at all. For me, the difference between 30 FPS and 60, I don't notice it. Like, I really don't notice it. It doesn't bother me at all to play something. It doesn't bother me to play something at 15 FPS. I played games at slower speeds when I was a kid. Like, I've grown up with jank. I played jank my whole life. And so it's just like, I don't need to have 4K graphics like that blow my mind. I don't need draw distances that are, you know, unseeable in the real world or anything like that. I'm perfectly happy playing with foggy draw distances and, you know, really kind of uglyish graphics, because none of that stuff matters to me. What matters to me is that I'm enjoying the gaming experience, that I like the leveling, I like the skill trees, I like the whatever. And so playing janky games on the Switch doesn't bother me. So this thing having a slightly upgraded performance, sure. You know, my brother-in-law keeps telling me I need to replay Hogwarts Legacy because I would see a huge difference. Maybe someday I will. I doubt it. I don't normally replay games. But I can tell you that I see a huge difference between like playing Cyberpunk versus playing those types of games on the original Switch. I do see a big difference. Is it a big enough difference that it bothers me? No. Or that I would have not played it on the Switch. I would have played Cyberpunk on the Switch 1 and enjoyed myself. Now, the difference is I've been playing Cyberpunk on here for probably 50 hours and it's only crashed 3 times. Whereas on the old Switch, I would expect it to crash every couple hours. Like, that's just how those kinds of games ran on the old Switch. So there is that. I'm appreciative for that. And I'm actually kind of honestly surprised that it crashed 3 times, since Cyberpunk was basically a launch title for this thing. And I think they tried to get it as perfect as possible so that it wouldn't have these issues. But third-party games I've found on the Switch or on Nintendo products have always had problems. They always crash and even on the Wii, that happened. So I guess the slightly bigger Joy-Cons, the slightly bigger screen, the better performance, I guess, that's neat. But ultimately, it's just like a little bit better version of the Switch, and I don't see it being anything different for the lifespan of this device. And I don't know that I'm upset about it. I think it's fine. I think that, you know, was it expensive? Yeah. Compared to other Nintendo products, very expensive. Are the games expensive? Yes. Compared to previous Nintendo products, they're expensive. But everything's expensive. I could choose to do a different hobby. I could have bought a bass guitar, you know, and played, you know, whatever. But it's been a good companion through, like, what with the baby right now, because I can't just come down here and work for a couple of hours, you know, but I can turn this on for 10 minutes and play. And so I've been doing that a lot throughout the days, you know, just baby's asleep, you know, feeding, whatever, I'll turn it on, I'll play. We don't have cable, we don't have TV, we don't have any apps to stream, so Malia likes watching me play games, she likes to watch, so I'm kind of entertaining her while she's feeding or whatever. It's great for that, and it'll continue to be that. But I'm also not like, as a Nintendo fanboy, I'm not like, you have to go buy this right now. In fact, if there's no like Switch 2 exclusive games that you want to play, there's no reason to buy this right now. Just wait until you have games like that you want to play that are only available on the Switch 2, and then go get it. Because I don't know that the upgrade is really, I don't know. I don't know who it's for. I mean, it's kind of like, it kind of feels like going from last year's generation phone to this year's generation phone. You're like, okay, it's slightly better. That's my take on the Switch 2. It's slightly better. Sure. Okay. I'm not, you know, I don't really have a whole lot more to say. The games are great. I've only played 2. So I've played Donkey Kong Bonanza, fantastic game. We already did a review on that one. I'm now playing Cyberpunk 2077. I'm having very good times with that game. And then there's another game I played called King of Seas, which is like a simple little pirating game that ran like absolute garbage on the Switch. Like, it was horrific on the Switch, and it runs like garbage on this. Like, it barely runs on this. So I don't see a massive improvement on that game. Those are the only 3 things I've attempted. I have Mario Kart World loaded on here. Haven't played it. Haven't even opened the app. Don't know that I will. But it came with a thing, so whatever. That's it. That's my take on the Switch 2. Do you have thoughts, comments, questions about the Switch 2? I would say for right now, just avoid it. There's not really a reason to buy it. I mean, I am going to play Pokemon Legends when it comes out. There's lots of upcoming games that I want to play on the Switch too. So I'm not upset that I own it. It's just, this is kind of the first time I've been underwhelmed by a Nintendo product, just because it's like, oh, okay, here's a slight performance upgrade. Where's the Flash? Where's the Riz? Do the kids still say Riz? I have no idea. I'm not one of them. Thank you for watching. Please leave a comment. Please like the video. Please subscribe. Please do the things that help me continue to grow the channel. I'm very appreciative for all of you. I'll see you again tomorrow. Today's 1000 plus little things happy, successful people do differently. We are learning 12 relationship truths we often forget. We are on number 3. You shouldn't have to fight for a spot in someone's life. Never force someone to make a space in their life for you, because if they know your worth, they will create one for you. This is an important one to remember. I have a lot of people that I can think of in life that say things like, I never hear from that person, so whatever. And it's like, well, have you tried? Like, have you reached out to them? Because obviously the relationship was not great for either of you, or one of you would have tried.